Good evening, everyone. I hope everyone is doing great. Uh, Before we dive in, I have a quick question for everyone. Like, how many of you know exactly what is field service lightning?
I thought it was now called Service Field Service. No, Salesforce Field Service.
It's the same thing. Yeah. And how many of you are doesn't know anything about field service lightning? Cool. No problem. My name is Ankit Gangwani. I am a senior Salesforce consultant at Slalom, based in London Bridge. I mean, who doesn't know Slalom? I am specialized basically into building scalable Lightning Web Components for our clients. So just imagine, just a quick question again, like you are traveling in a London Underground or to any trains or to anywhere where you don't have any internet, and then you have to do a task which is very important. So how do you feel?
Like stepping off.
Yeah.
Right, so just imagine there is a railway engineer who has their job to go to the tracks and to inspect things, to inspect like the condition of the tracks, put down the notes, either it is required a maintenance, is it really unsafe for the passengers. So that's the agenda for we are here today to discuss what we have done to achieve this, what is the problem, what is the real life scenario. So we will covering everything. So agenda for today is we will do a sort of easy introduction for someone who doesn't know what is field service lightning, how does it use, why we use field service lightning. Then we will look at the problem, again a real life scenario. Then we will look at the live demo, which is a fun part. I'll try to demo without internet, and then I'll explain how it works. Then I'll go through the code, like how did I build, how did I deploy to the field service app, what sort of permissions we require. Then we will see some sort of benefits and limitations to build those components. And then in the end, if you have any questions. Moving to the next slide, introduction. So field service Salesforce is basically also known as field service lightning or Salesforce field service. It's basically a tool that helps the companies to manage their workforce, mobile workforce. So basically companies send their technicians, workers to the customer locations. They can go to the locations, they can do their jobs, repair, things like that. How it works. So I break it down into 5 different segments. Customer service request. Basically a customer calls or submit a request online. Then once the customer has submitted request online successfully, the system will automatically schedule and assign the job to the right technician based on their location, availability, skills, etc. etc. Then once the technicians got the job assigned, they will receive a notification on the field service app regarding the customer information, job details, what exactly the job they need to perform, and the timings of the job. Then the work completion, then the technician or the workers reaches to the customer location, finish the job, they will update the system, and then the system will collect the feedback from the customer. Then at last we have billing and follow-up. So once the job has been completed, customer is satisfied, the system will generate an automatic invoice and also generate some follow-up further appointments if it is required. Then next, why do we use Salesforce field service or field service lightning? First, automates scheduling. So basically field service is an app which is completely works into offline mode provided by Salesforce on the out of the box feature. So it automatically schedules the jobs. So there is less manual work, I can say. I cannot say it's no manual works needed. It is a less manual work. Then tracks technicians. So managers or companies can track their technicians, where they are, what they are working on, how much work they have done, how much work is pending, etc. Then improves customer service. Field service app is really amazing. It updates to the customers like in a seconds, like sending emails, SMS, and everything. And this is the hot topic for today. It works offline. Doesn't matter if the technician have internet or not. They can still work. They can still update the system. They can still improve their productivity. The problem. So I have just get a scenario for London Underground. This is a fiction requirement I have created just to prove how the offline thing works and just for the fun part. So basically London Underground tracks require routine inspections to ensure passenger safety and operational maintenance. Let's look at the solution now. So for the solution, I have created a Lightning Web component which is called tracks inspection, which is basically deployed into the field service app. And then I'm going to show how we can launch the component and use as a railway engineer to inspect the condition of the tracks and to aid further details. So for that, I am going to mirror my mobile to show the live demo. Any questions anyone have before I mirror? Yeah, I hope everyone can see my this. Yep. Cool. So I am going to the field service app now. So if anyone has not seen the app, this is the app for field service. It's available in App Store and Play Store. I'm just trying to log in. Oops, sorry. Let me try again. I think the system is not allowing me in to the system. Oh no. I'm so sorry for this. I think we need to call a railway engineer to perform this demo. Who wants to see the railway engineer? Okay. Here you go. So please welcome your railway engineer for today. I am going to do the... Sorry?
You're not safe enough. You're not
Why?
safe enough to go into the underground.
Why?
You need a bit more protection than that.
One sec. Let me log in now. Please don't click pictures.
The London Salesforce developers, health and safety always comes first.
The tube in our YouTube channel.
Cool. So I can successfully log in, as you can see. So for today's demo, I have already pre-set up some data like service appointments, work orders. Who doesn't know what is service appointment and work orders? Everybody knows, thank God. So I have created 3 service appointments. So you can see I have created one for Northern Line. Who is from the Northern Line? Okay, 2. One for the Elizabeth Line. Elizabeth Line? Oh, no one. One is for the Victoria Line. Okay, only one. So my favorite is Elizabeth, so I am choosing Elizabeth Line. Cool. Cool. So I am landing to the work order, basically the work which is created for the railway engineer to perform. You can see the work is scheduled for 19th February from 8 to 9 p.m. I'm not sure if I'm on time or not. Yeah. So if you see the action bar, you can see the work order number 3, and then you can see the tracks inspection. This is basically a LWC which is deployed with the help of record action. I will definitely show how I have done this, but let's do the demo first. So if I go to the tracks inspection, now you can see this is the LWC I have created for mobile friendly. You can see the name, subject, the name of all the stations, the conditions of all the stations, tracks, everything miscellaneous. And then there is a menu option where we can generally go to the notes and put our descriptions like what is required, what material is needed, etc., etc. Now, before I start the demo, let me go and switch off my Wi-Fi, switch off my mobile data. So I am currently out of my internet. Just to prove, I will go to my Safari and reload the page. That means there is no internet available now. Now, if I am going back to the actions, I can load my LWC. It is successfully loaded because for the very first time, we require an internet connection to render our LWC. If we rendered successfully, we can open multiple times and we can do the changes, and I'll show how the changes will store into the local cache memory, and then once we get the internet, how it will directly go to the database. So let's do. So let's say if I started from Shenfield, I change the condition of Shenfield overall station to needs repair. You can see success, Shenfield condition saved. Let's put some nodes. I have predefined some nodes for Shenfield. You can see I have done some nodes, some basic nodes that some parts were out of the line, repairs are needed quickly to keep the trains running safely. Save. Let's go to pick another station. And by the way, as soon as the railway engineer saves some nodes, they don't need to go again to the menu to see the nodes. There is a little help text. They can click on the help text and they can see the nodes here. This is basically, I've used the lightning help text tag. Then let's go to choose Paddington. Paddington's lines are really excellent. I'm not sure if it is excellent, but yeah, let's see. So if I write some notes for Paddington, yeah, you can see with no visible damage or safety concern, train services are continue as normal. Let's go and click save. So I'm just choosing two stations just to save more time. And now if I close this, and if I jump back to my org, so this is work order number 3. If I go to work order number 3, if I go to tracks inspection, you can still see the Shenfield condition still says good. And also the Paddington condition still says good, and there are no nodes. Now, how this data will appear? Let's see. So if you see the profile on the bottom, you will see there is a little icon which says number 4. So if I go to the settings, if I go to the data sync, I have 4 pending uploads. Because I'm using work order line item, so this told me that you have 4 line items pending to upload to the database. Now let's switch on the internet. I started the Wi-Fi and let's see. So the magic will appear now. Pending upload started working, 3, 2, 1, boom. So now let's go back to our main UI and refresh the page. So now you can see the condition changed to needs repair, and then we have the notes for Shenfield. And then the same for Paddington, the condition changed to excellent, and we got the notes here. So this is the live demo. Any questions till now? So that I can get back to my normal attire.
Live demo on the mobile.
Cool. Moving on the next slide, if no burning questions.
Yeah, I've got a question.
Yeah.
What's the sort of limit on the amount of text and stuff, like capacity of the local browser cache?
Totally dependent on the device dependent. So if you have a good device which says 256 GB, 512 GB, you can do millions of records. It might take time to perform on the performance basis to resolve your pending uploads, but there is no limits from the field service side.
So as long as you give your field engineers decent devices, you're all right. Okay.
So this can achievable without lightning component as well, but the problem is it can never be productive because the engineers then need to go each and every work order line item again and again to select the condition, to write down the notes, but this is all in one place with a very mobile friendly, a good user experience. Yeah. Any further questions? Yes, please.
Is there any conflict resolution? Somebody
Yes.
updates that?
Yes. So basically, if 2 users update to the same work order line item, it will not save to the database. Just like we have find merge conflicts in Git, it will give a notification on the field service that you have a conflict data. You need to go manually and resolve what value you need to choose. Cool. Moving to the next.
So what's that conflict resolution? Is it built in your LWC?
No, we don't need to build it. It's provided by a field service. Yeah, it's out of the box feature. Yeah, code walkthrough. So basically we will see 3 things. How did I build the LWC? I'll just show the main parts, like what the main things I have used. I'm not going from the scratch. How did I deploy this LWC to the field service app? And a very important permission. So let me open my VS Code. So zoom. Cool. So the first thing you have seen is the number of work order line items. And because this component is deployed to the work order, so with the help of record ID, I got the work order record ID. And then, yeah, I'm using this Lightning data service, like get related list records, to fetch all of my child work order line item records. So then I am preparing all of those and putting into the records variable. And if you look at the HTML, This is my for each block because the lightning data table is not supported in field service, and there are other further tags which doesn't support field service. So I have to use this to display multiple line items. Now, if you look at this combo box, so this combo box has been built through Lightning Combo Box because this is supported, and the value I am getting from the field pick list value, because track condition is the pick list field in work order line item, and it has some values. So I fetch the values through get pick list value. So I just pass the field API name, and it gives me all the values. I prepare into the array, and then I return into the variable which is using by Lightning Combo Box. If you have seen also the menu thing, so the menu thing is here somewhere. Yep, Lightning button menu, which has only one item, nodes, and when you click on the nodes, it opens a new model which is used as a Lightning model, because Lightning model is also supported into the code, into the field service. And how I am saving the data, so let's say when you change the condition from good to needs repair, what it is called in the background, it is called on change event, handle change. So this is the handle change. Basically, I am getting the work order line item record ID, and I am getting the value which is selected, and then those values are saving with the help of Lightning data services with update record. You can see this update record here. So this is all about like how did I build this component, the main things. Now let's look into the deployment. So basically, I needed this Lightning record action. You can ignore the other because I'm using other places. You can need the Lightning record action simply, and then the screen action, and then so once you added the record action in your Lightning web component, then you can create a button, a Lightning web component action. That action I have deployed to the page layout, and this page layout means you have added your component to the page layout, and then whenever you open the work order into field service app, you can display your tracks inspection component. A very important permission is so you need to make sure that your field service setting has Lightning SDK for field service mobile enabled. Otherwise, you won't be able to see this component. When I started working in field service last year, I spent 4 days to find why my component is not available. So then it is my mind, it is my brain, it is my blood everywhere that we need this permission.
Good question. The Lightning SDK for field service, how new is that? Because when I was working on field service like 4.5 years ago, the official line from Salesforce, you cannot surface a Lightning component in the field service mobile app. So is this fairly new addition?
I have seen this from the last year, because last year only I have started working into field service. So it's definitely 1 year old, baby. Yeah. Cool. So that's we have seen the build part, the deploy part, and then the important permission. Let's look at some benefits and limitations. Starting with the benefits. So we have seen works without internet. We can go anywhere. The field service app works without internet. Just you need to log in for the very first time and render your Lightning web component. Then we have improved productivity. We have seen we can update multiple work order line item in one place. We save time a lot. We put the nodes, we change the condition frequently, and then once we get the internet, it appears to the database. Auto sync when available, we have seen as soon as we got the internet, auto sync works automatically, updates the data into the database. Then we have optimized performance. No need to explain, right? It's optimized performance for the workers. Then we have data persistence. This is very important. For example, you worked very hard, you update 100 and 200 of records, and then suddenly your mobile gets switched off, or it's crashed, the app crashed. So you don't need to worry. Field service has maintained it very nicely that your local data storage will still there. All the data will still into your cache memory, and once you switch on your internet, once you switch on your mobile phone, your data will be sent to the database. Let's see some limitations. No real-time data sync. As we have seen, when we don't have any internet, the managers or the companies who is sitting in the office, they cannot track what changes they have done till now. So they have to wait until the engineer or the worker or the repair come out from the non-internet zone. Then we have no Apex support. To make the Lightning Web Component offline compatible, we cannot use Apex. We can use Apex in LWCs, but as soon as we use Apex, the offline support will no longer be there. So we need to make sure we only use Lightning data services for any of our requirements. Then we have data conflict, like he asked me the question, and if multiple users updates the data, we will receive a notification for the conflicts. Limited base component support, there are some Lightning component tags which we cannot use because the field service cannot support, like the Lightning data table, the Lightning file upload, and so many. Then we have extra development effort, because if we need to build something to improve productivity, we need an extra development effort. We need a developer guy to build something like this. And we are coming to the question answer. One very important line. LWC makes field service apps faster, smarter, and more efficient for engineers, workers, or anyone on the go. Then I have added two most important links. One is how we can set up the field service Lightning from scratch. And second, what are the considerations and limitations before starting working into field service Lightning? I think that's it. Any questions?
So there's no Apex code, so you can't ask any questions of maybe a data that's in an org that you might need to get access to?
So Lightning data services are making sure that they don't bypass the field level securities. So if you have access for the record, then only it will be fetched, otherwise it will not.
Yeah, but that's your gateway into the org
Yes.
data, the Lightning data service. So providing you have the connectivity, you can go back through that mechanism and query the org and get the data that it needs. Okay, right. Move back on.
Cool. Any other? Yes?
On the local cache data, what are the security considerations around that? Is it just handled by the FSL app, and
Yes.
you don't have any additional control of people reading that cache?
I have been reading about this, like is there a way we can handle this local data, but there is no way. Field service Lightning itself handles very nicely, and they don't even disclose like if you want to handle or there are any methods or executions, there is nothing at the moment.
You showed syncing notes. Could you send photos as well?
Photos, yes. Lightning file upload is not supported, but you can use the HTML type equals to file that is supported, and that you can use to create your content version and content document link records manually with the help of Lightning data service. This is a quite complex piece, but yes, it is possible. Yes, please. No tough question, please.
Were you for the last hour?
Sorry?
How uncomfortable were you for the last hour or so? No,
This question has been asked like 5-6 people.
PPE on us. Chapeau. That was a marvellous twist.
So LDS is quite limited in terms of queries.
Yes.
Well, I mean, you can't query. All you can do is do get record where I already know the ID, or
Right.
you can do get related.
Yes.
Have you found that's an issue with the?
Yes.
I mean, the example you've got is nicely constrained within that scope. But in the real world, I guess you've done some real world implementation.
Yes.
So found any that as a problem, and have you had any strategies to get over it?
Yes. So I was working for a client. We have done similar sort of things for them, and we use the wire like get related something, and then we imagine, okay, so their maximum criteria is to get only 1,000 or 1,200 records. They don't want more than that. But when we use the wire, because of the JSON structure, if the JSON is too big, it gives us only 257 records. Now, what we have faced, we have then identified, whenever you call your wire method, it gives you something called next page token. So you need to store your next page token, and then when you change the value of the next page token, your wire gets called again. So first you need to handle 257, then you need to concatenate another 200, another 200, another 200. In the documentation it says you can only fetch maximum of 1,999 records, and that's within the range of our client. So that's why we didn't implement anything else. So if you have something called which is more than 2,000, this is not for you. You need to definitely go for the online version. Then you need to use internet and call the Apex to get the millions of records. But this is up to 2,000.
And so when you're asking for child records, related records, you have to get them all. You can't filter them. Basically, you have to just...
We can filter. If you can see, like we are sorting by, there is a filter tag as well. We can filter by status, we can filter by checkboxes. Definitely it's achievable.
Right. But if you don't know the ID of a parent record,
Then how you can call the related list? Yeah, there is no way. Yeah, there is no way.
if you try to access static resources,
Not yet. I can explore.
you might find it short of hard coding the ID. Can't
I don't think that's a good idea to hard code IDs. Yeah, so. Yeah.
I've worked a lot with with field service as well, doing offline. We've got a client who's a builder, so they're putting trenches in the ground with gas and electric. We started looking at LDS because it's more mature, and switched to GraphQL because it's more powerful. So I can maybe do a presentation on GraphQL at some stage. You don't have to be in field service to use GraphQL. Although, a bit of a spoiler, I found that it seems to be using the same APIs into Salesforce as SOQL. So you think you can build all kinds of new queries, and then you get SOQL errors back. But I can talk you through that as well. But yeah.
Yeah, I think we've got time for one more role.
Oh, so this might be more of a sort of an architect than developer thing, because we're developers. We like to build things. We like to write code. But as part of this project, presumably there was a project behind this. It may or may not have been something to do with the Underground Railway network. Did you look at any App Exchange applications as an alternative solution? Because when I did a similar implementation for the requirement of offline field service, we went App Exchange because there was an app that already did this, and I didn't have to build, and we could just get to market faster. So was that part of the
So
project?
I have no doubt that there is nothing on App Exchange. Yes, there is. So we built something similar for our client, and I wanted to share some ideas with the people. So I cannot expose that client solution. So that's why, that's why he selected my topic, and then I had to in 2 days decide something. Okay, how can I change this requirement? So there is few things comes in my mind, like ambulance which going to the remote areas. This example, so I like this example is very friendly, so I just designed it. Yeah. Cool. Thank you.